2010, a lot of injuries, 5 quarterbacks, 18 freshmen, but we did beat a ranked opponent on the road, and that was the first time in 7 years. We started off, I believe, that year 4-2, and that was with our number 2 or 3 or 4 quarterback at that time. And I thought that bunch really competed. That year to me was, in the end, was kind of a disappointment because I thought that our guys really laid it on the line, and we played 18 freshmen, and we played, I think, a 10th ranked Michigan State team right to the wire. We came into the Wisconsin game, I believe, a maybe 30-point underdog, and played hard and jumped out to a 10-point lead. That year was a disappointment to me because when that year was over, I was already on the hot seat, and really felt like that was kind of an injustice to where we were at and what we were doing as a program. Our guys were playing hard. I remember when I interviewed with Morgan Burke, he told me that there's going to be some rough sledding, early, and he said, but you can count on the Boilermaker fans that if the players play hard and lay it on the line, that they'll be there for them, and they'll be there in the stands, and they'll be there and support them. And he had reference to Coach Painter's first couple years here at Purdue, and I was really disappointed that we didn't get the same type of support from the fan base when we had our struggles early in football, and our guys were really playing hard and laying it on the line. So the second year was tough. Had a signature win, beating a ranked opponent, but again, at that point in time, I felt like I was placed on the hot seat by the athletic administration, and that makes coaching and your job a lot more difficult. And was disappointed that the fan base didn't stick by the team, who I thought was really laying it on the line and competing really above their ability at that time. So that was the first 2 years, and then obviously the third year we regrouped and went to the Little Caesars Bowl and won, and that was a lot of fun. And we beat Ohio State again in Ross-Ade, and that's the first time in the history of Purdue football that we've beaten Ohio State back-to-back in Ross-Ade. We were number 1 in the nation in kickoff returns, and so was our kickoff return man. And again, we won 2 out of our 3 trophy games. And again, at the end of the season, we had met and was compensated for the academic performance of our football team. And then 2012, I thought we played 8 great games, but unfortunately we lost 2 of them. We lost to Ohio State and to Notre Dame. We were heavy underdogs going into those games and played our hearts out and lost those 2 games. But we bounced back, found a way to make it happen in the end. And the next thing you know, we're in the heart of Dallas Bowl, a January 1 bowl, and it's only the second coach in the last 30 years to go to bowl games back to back. And then we were on track to exceed expectation from an academic standpoint. While these are things on the field, so we did some great things on the field. There were some tough times. There were some times we didn't have enough firepower. Injuries at times, played into it. We lost a game or 2 that we shouldn't have. But we did have some signature wins. We were 500 in the league, I believe, 3 of the 4 years. And I believe the 4 years prior to that, we were 500 in the league only 1 of 4 years. So I think that we showed some progress on the field in spite of having to overcome a lot of adversities and some areas of the program that we were behind in. We made great progress academically. You talk about the GPA part of it, but really the APR part of it, the retention part of it was huge. We only had 1 player ineligible for the season in 4 years, and that's very uncommon in Division I football. And when I came to Purdue, we were in trouble from an APR standpoint. Our APR score, our retention score was so low that we had to meet some expectations of the NCAA, or we could have been in a position maybe to be penalized. So proud of the GPA, but even more proud that we were able to retain our players and really make a huge jump from an APR standpoint. And then we raised the money and installed our football academic center, which is right next to my office, and it sends a message right when you come in the door. We did a multitude of fundraising and to help Morgan Burke raise tons of money for the Mackey Arena project,